Hey YouTube, Farmall 51 here. All right, this is the after action report on 140, and kind of give you a little bit of how everything went on the 140. The Plowday video will be coming out soon here. Everything went great. The new carburetor, new old stock carburetor that I had in a box, and you know, some people say, well, you know, why'd you use that? Zenith on there needed to be rebuilt, and so I stuck this one on there and did nothing to it. I got out there and it was sort of running out of fuel, so I turned the fuel up to it. It was running out of, about halfway down the field, it was running out of fuel. So I turned the screw, one turn, half a turn, tried it. It got better, so I turned it another half a turn until I got to where I felt like it was getting enough fuel to you know, make it all the way down the field, and it was doing excellent after that. Charging system still working good, and the coil did not take a dump on me. Fan belt, international, both the international fan belt, all that held up, which that will be changed. I probably should have changed that before I left, but I felt like it was in good enough shape. Things will happen when you go to a plow day like that. You'll find out what your machine is made of. Hydraulic system, all that worked. Tires hooked up great. I was really happy with that. There's no water in these tires, but I felt for what we were doing, the wheel weights were adequate enough. No noise in the rear end. We plowed in second gear most of the time. A time or two when I would let the son drive there. I put him in first gear because I felt like he needed to, you know, take a little time there, but second gear, that's about your average plowing gear. When conditions are perfect, you can have it in third gear, but it is necessary to have the right speed to throw that dirt. So it's at least second gear, although it was kind of rough out there in places, so we needed to have it in first gear. And it's raining right now, so time or two we're in first gear, but most of the time you can plow with it in second gear. I made an extension piece here to lift the plow up, but I made it a little longer than I wanted to, so I'm going to take about 2 inches out of it because it is just about touching the fender. So I'm going to move it into the second hole, cut about 2 inches off of here. That should be enough to get it lifted up to where it needs to be. Don't give me too much trouble about my locking pin here, or when you're plowing you need to have this loose so this thing can move, and all it had was a bolt in there, but eventually I'll find me one of these, the little handle here, so I'll eventually find one. I'll get me one made or find somebody that's got one. But yeah, I know that's some rigging there, but anyway, like I say, fast hitch did excellent. I've got some video of showing from behind, and these they were not, you could tell that they weren't rocking. Fast hitch was moving and doing like it was supposed to, so happy with that. A lot of times these here wear out. These here wear out, but these pieces right here will be wore. Let's see. Engine ran excellent. Tractor started like it's supposed to. No smoking. I did have a whole can of seafoam in it, and I figured, and it really, I mean, we got it up to operating temperature, and it was run hard yesterday. So, but I was happy with that. I am gonna get a new set of points because that set of points that I put in there was a used set off the shelf. I always save stuff like that. So I put a new set, or a used set in it, filed it, put it in there, and it ran. I said we'll go with that. But I am going to pick up a couple new sets from Case IH. They are a little bit better quality, like we've talked about before, so I'll put that in there just for peace of mind. And I do still have the new coil, even though this is the like I said, the coil did do fine. It didn't take a dump on me yesterday. I was a little worried. These old coils like this, I mean, thing probably run 30 more years, but I don't know if some of these modern coils, this may be an original cool, I'm not sure. Or I'm sure it's 20 years old probably, but they have a tendency, if they're not used for a while, they'll you get them back hot again, they'll quit working. So I had that on hand just in case that there became a problem. But front end, it's still got, the front end's got a little bit of play. That's not bad. That's pretty average there. I wasn't real happy with that, but I was talking with JT West the other day, and we were talking about it would be nice if somebody were to start making these. If you've ever dealt with this, I know if you've ever rebuilt a front end, there's a lot. There's upper and lower bearing, and those are mainly what cause problems that are wore out. And you can see this one doesn't move up and down, it just moves side to side. So that tells me the upper bearings are fine, and that's filled with oil. So, but the little worm gear in there that's made onto the shaft here gets wore. So it would be nice if somebody could make a replacement or a new whole rod with a new one on it, and make a detachable one or a replaceable one. It would have to be something with a pin in it, I assume, because of the constant left and right motion all the time. So a screw on one would not work. But that's something that I would love to see somebody make. I have seen people take and on the screw put brazing in there and then file it back down, but it's not very smooth, and it's hard to steer. I've seen that before. So that's something that would be cool to make. That would, because every one of these tractors here has play in it. I don't care if how new it is, it still has play. And this rod here is always bent, and the pedals are always wore out. So this tractor did a lot of bush hogging, and you can see these are wore down. Not terrible, but they're flat. They're not like, this is what it should look like. So here, so radiator didn't overheat, didn't boil over, we were good. That was excellent. Water pump's working, there's no water running out the front of it, so that's a plus. I was worried about the water pump. There's a little seal in there, and when they go bad, they'll start pouring water out. So well, like I said, we ran it pretty hard yesterday, and everything, it did excellent once I got the carburetor adjusted where I wanted it to. But that's it. That's the, I guess you could say, the after action report on the 1967 Farmall 140. And there's the cub. He's inspecting for me. The wheel weights were excellent yesterday. The plow, I got the remember we did the adjustment on the plow. All that was set. The plow is outside now, but I got that set, so it plowed like it was supposed to. Did an excellent job plowing. I was really happy with that. Everything hooked up like it was supposed to. Tires stayed pumped up, so we are good to go. We have got us a working 140 now, ready to go, ready to garden. So we're ready, excited about getting it into the garden and using it, and taking a little bit of load off my nicer, prettier 140s, which this one here doesn't do any work. But so anyway, thanks for watching. I think the last time I looked at the subscribers, was it like 15,700 and some, I think. So thank you again for all that. Thanks for watching, and you'll see a lot more of this tractor work in the garden. And as soon as it dries out, in another week or two, we'll be getting ready to start planting here. Usually the last frost date for North Carolina is April 14th in my area. So